is one heck of a sunset. As you can see, the sunsets happen in the other direction. It was weird, the sunset started like an hour before the sun was going down. I don't know why it did that today. But it sure ended up bright, didn't it? Awfully pretty. I got a lot of beans, 2 big handfuls of raspberries, and my first 2 itty bitty tiny tomatoes. Yes, they're late. I was lazy about planting tomatoes this year, so I did not get ahead of schedule on that at all. I usually don't. But then the groundhog also ate the cherry tomatoes that pop up on their own, so my volunteer tomatoes were a bit stunted. Still haven't had any rain, and as far as I know, I still am not allowed to water, so at this point it's likely some things will die. Nothing too major, but some of the stuff in pots is probably going to be a goner. I still have at least the cooler full. It's just so fiery in the sky. I have at least that cooler full of water. Let's go back up there and I'll show you what I mean. So these ones in the back, I actually did water my little pots back here. With that, watered these. Well, we got an airplane going. That's so bright. Apples are still doing good, which I'm happy to see. Strongly considering actually ending up transplanting this plant, because this does end up still being my access corridor. I don't think that this enclosure cage for the plum is big enough, because I can't train it with wide angled branches while it's in there. So that'll be interesting to see what's best for that. I might just make a much bigger cage and use that somewhere else. I'm going to do some pruning. I've not refilled the pond since being instructed to not dig, which is fascinating because the soil is still kind of damp. So I actually might dig lower here. Also, I need to get the area up in here prepped. And apparently there's a 2-foot by 3-foot version of the rain barrel availability too. So I want to come out and measure again just to see, but I don't know what model the 2-foot by 3-foot is. I thought that the section that was being referenced was downspout stuff, like 2-inch by 3-inch, but it just says quantity request 2 by 3 or 4 by 6. So I don't know exactly what that means. I guess we'll find out. Forgot to print it today, but that's okay. I do have a printer at home, but it didn't like that document. I'll have to convert it a couple times before I can finalize. Those are coming along. Those are the ones I bought on impulse down at the hardware store. Got one Cleome right up in the middle there. The beans that I'm letting go to seed are definitely living up to their name of yard-long beans. That's so funny, it's all wobbly. And then I hope I didn't have my finger over the sound again. You can see that the Monarda is struggling with this dry spell. Again, it's been so dry this year. It usually rains like all but 4 days of the summer anymore. And this year it's just been dry and then more dry and more dry with some additional dry, you know, like that. But yeah, that sunset's pretty chill. I'm liking it. Really good stuff. Oh, there was one more thing that came up besides the baby quail in the incubator. We'll do that video next. One more thing that came up just a couple days ago is just a few doors down the street from me, somebody was offering, and I decided to go take them up on it. Bunch of bricks, and there's more where that came from, so that's nice. I think I'm going to actually do the raised bed project I've been thinking about for a long time, because I could get double that. So instead of struggle to figure out what to do with my bricks, including that starting to tilt, I don't think that was a good idea. I love how this works. Honey, chill out. You just like headlong. But, okay, you can't actually tell. But the door's open, but with that guard in there, they can't get out. Even though there's like a foot at the top. This. I want to set it back a little bit so this path's a little bit wider. And I want to stack up a bunch of bricks here. And then stack soil and wood chips all up in here so that I have a good raised bed. Not sure if I'm gonna double stack tires or continue on my original plan of starting to phase out the tires into stair format. Not sure what I'm gonna do about that. It's good either way. It's definitely good either way. So probably leave the tires on the front and then relocate a bunch of those tires here, because even if I just rent a car again someday, there are always tires to be had. Always tires to be had. So that's not a problem. And this wall of tire creates little microclimates in the nooks of every little piece. So I could actually double stack the tires with the walls down once I'm ready to fill them. But the reason this is actually 2 tires, both with sidewalls cut off. Yeah, so that's what I'll do. And I hope this was an interesting little, gonna turn and look at the sunset again. Little sunset tour. Starting to fade a little bit. We didn't spend the whole time staring, but it's okay.